Secret recording start a little bit later than I meant to. I don't know what this tune is, but oh wait, I'm not playing any music. Get rid of that as well. It's the same playlist over and over and over again, starting from the beginning, because I can't be bothered to scroll down far enough to get a whole new section. But while people are coming in today, we will. Well, firstly, before I do anything crazy, I'll wait for the streaming feed to update in Discord. But we're just going to be doing double drawing question mark today, or 1.5 times drawing. Don't really know exactly how much we're doing. We'll basically be just drawing until the next hold screen is finished. So yeah, I didn't end up streaming last week, if you don't know. Where is the Twitch notification? It might take a little bit. Well, we'll have to wait a few minutes, but there we go. Today's itinerary, drawing ×2 question mark. But yes, I didn't end up streaming last week because I was like, I have literally no videos and I'm gonna have no time to be able to stream whatsoever. So I was like, okay, we'll sacrifice the stream. I will go record a load of videos, and I recorded like all 6 videos, I think, on about one day. It's actually kind of a similar situation this week as well, so that's why we have a shorter stream. But I will actually probably have more time next week to be able to stream before things come out. Sorry, but record videos before things come out. The only thing I'm mildly worried about is if a series ends and I'm like, I don't have a next thumbnail already. Oh god, sorry, that's my monitor arm, very loud. But yes, we'll basically be just continuing on with this drawing. Put my mic in a bit of a better location so I can actually talk into it. Maybe move my tablet a bit as well. And the reason I say 1.5 maybe is because I'm not sure how long this one will take, because I feel like, for one, I am just too close to love you. The background of this one is probably significantly easier than most of the others because you can't see a lot of it. Most of it is in the dark, but nonetheless. So this is the art. Let's get a background. This one also probably doesn't have much of a foreground as well, so that's why I think it's going to be rather minimalist. I'll fix the colours of it, I suppose, afterwards as well. Actually, we might as well do that now, because there's some things I forgot. Okay, so that's a cheap pound. What is this? That's base colours, accessories. And this is meant to be tights, because I completely forgot what I was going to do. Is actually I was going to have snakeskin tights on. And also I want to change... Excuse me, the closed gap is not high enough. There you go. I wanted to change a bit of liner on her arm because I was looking at it and I was like, her arm looks too long. So yes, I don't know how long this will take. Maybe it will take no time whatsoever. Maybe it'll take all the time in the world. Who knows? But we'll do this and put a slight fade on it. Might be better to do this colour maybe. Not really sure, but nonetheless, we go forward. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today as well. Normally someone needs to be in here and I have some conversation to bounce back and forth, but if no one's here, then so be it. What have I been up to? I mean, yesterday I was actually going to record a lot more, but I didn't, because I ended up just playing Valorant with a friend instead. Were they friends? Some friends instead. Oh yeah, I forgot I was using this weirdo brush. Oh, wait, hold on, this is the body colours coming out over the snake. So that's why I didn't end up recording anything yesterday, and hence very little being recorded today, but nonetheless, that's okay. There is the time for it, so get rid of these colours and get rid of the black and white overlay. We'll do the background. I guess we'll do the floor first. I'm not really sure what colours I'm going to use for everything, but it's all going to be rather dark, to be honest, so I don't think it matters that much. Mind you, just want to make sure we got the correct level of the correct horizon line going on. But I think I do want it a little bit higher. That's probably too high. Maybe something like this. That seems pretty good. So that can be a floor, and we'll have the wall. I'm doing it like top to bottom, I guess. Which will probably be a bit of a lighter colour, maybe a bit more of a creamy colour, I'm not really sure, again. But I was using this new brush set. It was meant to be this very sort of inky looking brush to paint things. Why is my sketch layer beneath everything? How did I do any of the colours? A bit like that. There we go. We have a wall like this. And this is why I say I think it's going to be a relatively quick background, because there's not a lot going on for it. But yeah, I mean, Chinese New Year coming up later this weekend, Wednesday, I believe it is. Okay, let's do the sky outside, which will just basically be like completely dark black. And then we'll have silhouettes of buildings in front. Again, the buildings are not going to be particularly visible, they're going to be quite dark as well. That's not dark enough, I think. Because they should be. You're not really going to see them. We might even blur. Might even blur the buildings slightly, but at least put this sort of like ornamentation on them. Because I think the lanterns are going to be the brightest part of this sort of sky. And I'm trying to think, does it gets lighter as you go out? Yes, that sounds right. I was like, how do I draw full backgrounds again? So we'll do 3 layers, as I normally do, for scenery near buildings, mid buildings vis-a-vis average buildings. I'm joking. Ha ha ha. Using the ambiguity of the English language to my advantage. I think it's a bit too bright as well. I don't know what I've got going on here. Maybe those are mountains. I think those are probably mountains. I can't remember what I did for the sketch. It's been 2 weeks. You had to forgive me. For mountains, we can do it in more of a bluish sort of colour. I'm trying to think. I'd probably actually do these darker than the background, so. But I feel like that's a very classic sort of thing you see in Chinese, like calligraphy arts. Very pretty mountains. I've got also the sketch though. I realised I did not turn down the opacity because I was like, it's so dark I can't see anything. But just have like mountainous shapes like this, sort of coming down. We'd use more brushy strokes, but it's a bit hard to and also colour it in at the same time. So there we go. We've got stuff like this. That's some level of ornamentation, who knows which one, who knows what. Because the mid buildings can have it too, and then we'll just put some lanterns in. And I think I'll basically get the vibe across. So I'll put like lanterns here, and the lanterns are relatively easy, I think, to. Oh, that's probably a bit too bright. To sort of draw. You get like a reddy orange colour. Maybe a bit brighter than that. A bit more red. You won't even see a lot of them. I mean, you just get the airbrush. Actually, we could probably just do a two-tone like this. Maybe with a different brush. Maybe with this brush, yeah. Just do a little something like this. Then we get red, and we can draw these little lines across it to add a little bit of texture. Then we get golden, colour out the top and bottom. And even though it's very brushy, I think it kind of fits the style. I could have even done the line art a bit more brushy. I think I might actually, if we have time, go over the line art and make it a bit more sort of messy, brushy, you know? Or we can just do this. The little tassels at the bottom. I've actually cheated a lot on this, to be honest. You can't actually see a lot of it, so... we'll do this, get the red sort of string connecting them all, if I can. Just erase the parts which aren't. I mean, I think that basically gets the entire concept of what we're doing across. Oh no, I think I did that wrong there. I did do that one wrong there. Okay, well, I guess that's all on one layer now. Because that's going to be a bit difficult to separate, but whatever. That's okay. Again, the background isn't that important, I think, when it comes to it. I think probably the atmosphere of shading might matter more. We might even make that a bit darker, I don't know. And we don't have a lot. I've really messed up my layering. But that's okay. I did not mean to do as much of this on the same layer as I currently have, but... that's okay. It happens. It happens. Sometimes you make a mistake. In this case, it's not very costly because, again, it's just a sort of background. But you can do this, and then you can do a little bit of a glow coming from each of them, which we can probably... well, maybe we can do it with a brush. I don't know. Let's see it. Linear light. Probably want it a bit more orangey. If we do it like this, I think it has to... well, maybe soft light might be a bit better. No, not really. Maybe it might be the colour, actually. That's okay. Perhaps a bit too soft. Okay, I think that's okay. Just a little glow like this. It is meant to be very sort of brushy and loose in style, so I'm not too bothered if it doesn't look exactly right. These mountains, we can put a bit more sort of texture on them, I suppose. Making their peaks, ooh, a little bit lighter in colour. Making the sky maybe a little bit darker. Let's skew it actually more to purple, I think. Actually, no. Let's make it brighter than the mountains. Not too much brighter, but maybe a little bit in between like that. Because then we can do some fireworks, which I think is a key component of a Lunar New Year celebrations. What brush? This brush? This might be too thin and too small, but whatever. I think it will be fine. Do not overthink it. I think I want a bit more of a golden colour. I don't know why I'm speaking like this golden. It's like an overly posh British accent or some kind. And then we can have some which is sort of a little bit bigger, thicker brush. Coming up through the middle. Just to sort of give you an impression of celebrations everywhere happening, you know? We also might want some stars. I don't actually know if we do or not, because I don't think I'll appear very well, but or we could do like the Chinese calligraphy thing where they do like these sort of swirling patterns in the background. Which you can't really see, I suppose, because there's everything in the way, but this doesn't look brushy enough, I think. Which of these looks the most brushy when scaled up? Oh, this looks quite... There we go. Because I kind of want to get like a curl of a wind in, but you're not going to be able to see it very well. No! The thing I'm finding is my keyboard is also double pressing quite a lot. So sometimes when I'm undoing, it's actually double undoing, which is not great, I would say. Hello. James a gay Dutch deer. You know, very self-descriptive, I would say. You read that immediately, know your demographics, know who you are. That's like, what an introduction. Thank you for following as well. Another deer. We love a deer by why I can't speak. The deer by numbers, the servine numbers of a populace represent. Does that look like wind? That kind of looks like wind. I think that kind of gives the sort of vibe. I might want to put a gradient on the sky actually as well. Not entirely sure. I probably shouldn't have done it on the same layer, I thought I was on a separate layer. Apparently I wasn't. Maybe that's because of all the undoing I was doing. Wind. That's fine. We did it once, we can do it again. Calligraphy wind. Okay, like that. And then I think not the fill tool. Let's get physical. Let's get physical. No, I want a bit of a gradient going on. It's a bit hard to do with gradient with a very heavy brush like this, but we're doing our best. And probably this wind, we can shift its coloration to something a bit more blue, I think. And that basically gives what we need for the background, to be honest. There's not really much else. For the outside background, let's put that on a separate folder. Outside. Oh, actually, you do know what? We do need to put a little... I guess we could do it here, that's true. Wood borders. Which we're going to take as quite a dark red, I think. Unsurprisingly, red a rather big proponent colour of this colour scheme. But we'll do it like this. I need a sketch back because I got rid of it for some reason. But we need a balcony, essentially. Like, it's very classic to have all these like rectangular sort of style of designs. It's almost like a brick. You can't really see what's going on though. I think I'm overcomplicating it. Let's just leave it as circles. Because you can't really see it in the first place. And you don't need to overcomplicate design if you don't need to. I also might change the colour a bit. Up the brightness a tiny amount. just so it's visible. Oh yeah, I forgot about this part. Forgot about drawing this little image again. Hello, Vile Spec. Good day to you. We are... I didn't actually draw anything outside here, now I think about it. But that's okay. I'm not sure if I like this brush for this part, because it looks a bit like blood, which is not really what I'm going for. I think I need something a bit smoother. I love the texture of this brush though. It's very nice. Now the rectangle patterns is always very confusing on these very sort of Chinese style designs. What's going on? I don't know. It's improv. You just kind of make the pattern up as you go and be like, yeah, that's probably good enough. Let's get rid of a wall as well then behind here. And maybe we can continue sort of light colours of the sky up here. Fireworks probably won't reach that high, but we can at least get maybe some like stars or something in, or maybe more wind sort of patterns. Because I like the sort of flowing, curling pattern that we're sort of using as a motif with the snake. Your drawing looks very nice, thank you. Thank you very much. It's always a fun time to do these sort of things. I think the floor was also crooked now I'm looking at it, but nonetheless, we'll continue on. The floor doesn't really need much at all. I don't think you'll even notice it, to be honest, but we'll do this. I think probably what's going to happen as well is that we'll shade the entire... So this is the interior. We'll shade the interior all at once. Well, thank you. I think it looks very nice. It's in celebration of Lunar New Year, coming up in 3 days? 4 days? I can't really remember. I probably should know, but... and it'll be our hold screen for the next month or so. Okay, shadow. So yes, it's going to be very dark in the first place, but that's okay. We're going to have to be very selective about what and where we end up uncovering the shadows once again. And I think on the left side of this makes a lot of sense, probably the underside as well. But yes, it's going to be very selective. This might be actually too dark a shadow, or maybe it'll be good, I don't know. Again, because we haven't shaded D in, it's going to look a little bit out of place until all of that is done as well. And again, all of it's quite rough, don't worry about it, as long as it's got that sort of brushy calligraphy style to it. I think that's what we're looking for. This I might leave like almost completely silhouetted. So while it might make sense for some of it to be in highlights, which we are doing, it actually looks quite nice silhouetted, because you can actually kind of see it properly, can't you? So leave it rough. Don't overthink it. Something like that. And maybe we'll turn it down a little bit. And then we'll do a darker shadow layer. I think we'll do stuff like this part more in shadow. This is not a very good shading brush. This is beautiful texture, terrible for shading. Probably because it's not meant to be for shading. There we go. I think I get the point across. I think maybe we could up the saturation on the dark shadows. And I don't mean the My Hero Academia, Tokiyami's, I don't know, quirk. Favourite deer villager in Animal Crossing? Fauna. She's on my island. She was the last one that I got recruited to New Horizons. And because of the fact that she was the last villager I wanted, and the latest villager who moved in doesn't ever ask to move, I had to actually get like her amiibo card to get her in. Sorry, Pecan, who she replaced. But yes, fauna. I do like Fuchsia a lot as well. Who else is fun? Bo. He's a cutie. Zell, I guess. He's pretty cool as well. Didn't have him on my island. I think I'm just saying all the villagers which I've had on my island. There's a personal bias, I think, towards it. What other deer villages are there? There's Bam, right? The Jock. I think there's a grumpy one, but I can't remember who the grumpy one is off the top of my head. But yes, them lot. Okay, wonderful. Let's get on to shadows and changing some of these colours. I don't think that these tights look how I want them to. Maybe we'll turn them to gold. Maybe we'll turn them white. Yeah, I think white looks a little bit better. But we'll just sort of turn down the opacity a little bit more as well. I don't know. Red did look pretty good. Oh, you know what? I probably did is I probably wanted to do this, and then I probably wanted to have like a wrapping texture around them for snakes. At least I'll do it on one instead of the other. Asymmetry in design, you know? Actually, maybe it looks better on the other one, to be honest. Whoa. And actually, maybe it'll be better with a darker red. Yeah, looks better with a darker red. Who's your favourite deer villager then? In Animal Crossing? Snake patch. I think they have a snake brush as well. I should probably pay attention to that and use it. Snake tile brush or something. Okay, get that done. Continue on. That sort of thing. I should probably get a bit thicker as it comes up. Compared to down here, will be a bit thinner. I think it's always quite hard to choose favourites when it comes to Animal Crossing villages, to be honest. They're all very good. And a lot of it's based on personal bias over who you see first as your villagers. I don't mean that in a bad way or anything, it just is what it is, isn't it? I mean that in the best way possible. Okay, there we go. That probably looks a bit better. Kind of, size-wise. Yes, okay, snake pattern. Do I have a snake brush? I don't know where it would be. I have a feather pen. Let's see. Scale? Downloaded materials, maybe. Scale? Scaly brush, okay. I do have a scaly brush, there you go. Make up a backup for this as well. So I want to do it like this, but I don't want it to be that prominent, so I think we'll sort of turn it down a little bit. Put it back underneath. Soft light it. Yeah, that looks okay. Zell and Fawn are my two favourite deer characters. Two favourite deer villages. Very good choices, I must say. Highly approve of them. They are fantastic. We love them here. What have I done here? Oh, I didn't lock onto it. That's why it didn't work. Okay. Okay, so we do that. And we turn down the opacity. Probably should turn down a bit more, I think. And maybe I should have made it gold instead of red. Might make a bit more sense with a colour scheme. Yeah, those are very good choices. Oh god, what the heck? Probably because I turned my opacity down to 20, huh? What am I doing? Someone tell me. Okay. Yes, do it like this. Then turn down the opacity. Then turn it up a bit more because you turned it down too much. There you go, that looks pretty good. I wonder if we can do this on a snake as well. I wonder if it'll look any good. It's a bit small, probably. I think it looks a bit excessive doing it everywhere. Maybe we do it on the underside? Just on the face? Nah, I think it's fine. Let's just leave it like that. No need to overcomplicate things if we don't need to. Probably the snake's patterns though could be a bit more interesting. And also I don't know why I didn't do them the same colour. As the gold here, did it clash? Maybe. Do it a bit darker. Oh, you know what? We could probably do the snake pattern on my hair. You can barely see them. Probably I want to do it inverted, so I probably want it, the base, probably want the pattern colour to be like this, and I probably want the base colour to be that way around, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. So we do it like this, and then we take the pattern brush on top. Yeah, it looks quite nice, I like that. And then we probably finally want the tattoos to also have this little snaky pattern on top. Wonderful. I think it looks pretty good. I think all that's left now is to shade it. Which, this could be a very fun way of shading, I don't know. Let's start with our base shadows. I think we'll do it reductively as well. Probably slightly reddish colour. Whoa. And we'll go with this brush. Not sure if that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Maybe this brush makes more sense. Something which screams mystery, which screams, I'm not going to say danger necessarily, but the unknown. You're coming here for a reason, because you think you have something to gain, but you're at the mercy of these fortunes. You know? That's the kind of vibe I'm wanting to give off here. It's okay, this is just the starting shadow, so it's not like everything needs to be perfect. This is probably too dark, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is too much. I can't see anything. We're gonna have another dark layer underneath, so that's too red now. Maybe we should skew it a bit more purple, the shadows. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Maybe a bit darker than that. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. If anything, it looks a bit too light now without it, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Worry about that later. For now, let's make sure the shadows get where we want them to be. Big sort of overarching shadows which overlook everything. It's not going to go all the way down her leg. certainly be much more of an edge shadow. I think over here. This bit will probably actually all be in light, to be honest. As would a lot of that. But hand, maybe not. Chest. Probably the back part of the ear will have a little bit of light. Room lighting, then we've got to look at the snake itself. What's the button to select? Okay. All of that just to make sure we don't remove any of the shadows that we work so hard on D with. All the snake shadows are meant to be big, if anything. So we'll pretend D isn't here for a moment, and then we'll go back round, adding these shadows back in. Like that. What program did you use to set up your PNG avatar? I'm currently trying to make one. So I used Clip Studio Paint to actually do the drawing, and then I used a free program which you can use to sort of host it. I think it's called Veado Tube, like VEADO Tube. You can just find the download link for it like somewhere online. I can't remember exactly where I found it, but yeah, it's just a free software. You just have 4 frames uploaded of like eyes open, mouth open, closed eyes, and closed eyes, mouth open, that sort of thing. And then it just automatically blinks automatically, and then whenever you make enough sound, it will open the PNG's mouth. Very, 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 very nice and very useful. Very thankful to the creator for making it free and accessible to everyone. But yes, Veado Tube. For the curious ones out there. I have been meaning to make like a proper live 2D like animated one at some point. Like that's what originally this one was going to be, but I haven't finished shading it, which is why she's currently unshaded. And I've yet to rig it up and actually learn how to use the software, but at some point I certainly will. So I think it'll be a fun challenge. And it'll be a lot more cooler to see these sort of move around as I do as well. Just a bit more animated, you know. Okay, we're going to cheat on the eyes as always. Actually, it might be more fun to do the eyes like this. It's like cheating with the eyes in a bit of a different way. Cheat with a makeup as well. It's probably a bit too dark. So I don't want the shadows to come too far out of here. Rigging's so tedious. I have like looked at a tutorial and I was just like, damn, this looks like it's going to take forever. But I mean, it also seems like a very fun sort of challenge. I've not really done much of that sort of style of animation before. Like actually animation in general I haven't really done much of. As much as I'd love to. Hard to find the time for it. Oh, the shadow there kind of doubles with the snake shadows as well. Oh, what am I doing? What's going on? I did it once in class and it took so long. It was cool after that though, yeah. I also... Actually, I'm not sure if I did like a full animation for class once, but we back in like high school, secondary school, as I know it, there used to be like a class that you could take called graphics, which was essentially digital art. At the time I didn't really know I liked doing digital art, so I didn't take it like any further than just for sort of like introductory lessons. Like I didn't take it as any further studies, I guess is probably what I mean to say. but we did a lot of cool things with it. Like we did have a lesson of using Adobe Animate, as it's now, well, Adobe Flash back in the day, now it's called Adobe Animate. And I remember being like, this is really cool, really fun, and I really like doing it. But of course, young me didn't realise at the time. I was like, oh, that means actually maybe I should try doing it a little bit further. But I've done a little bit of like hand-drawn 2D animation, also very tedious, and also I'm not that good at it. So, but I do want to do more at some point. Give it a shot. But it is really like, it's very rewarding after, as you say, after you do the tedious hard work. Very much is sort of like bringing something to life, isn't it? Did graphic design in high school, now I'm in college for animation. Oh, that's very cool. Honestly, you know, being able to go to school for animation, I think would be like a very, very cool opportunity to have. Exhausting, I must imagine, for sure. I feel like a lot of the arts, like, as I did scientific, sort of like I did maths when I went to university, but like all the arts have like a much, it's like the amount of work you need to put in is a lot. Like wait, oh, I'm using the wrong colour now. What happened? Very much, yes. Like I can imagine. But yeah, you probably, you know, I think the cool thing about going to a school for it is the fact that like you'll have so many other people as well. Same sort of dream that you can learn from, you can see animation techniques. It's like being surrounded, I suppose, constantly by very cool art and artists. So yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoy your time. I don't know how long you've been doing it for, but I hope you learn a lot from it. If you have any cool techniques, tips and things to share, by all means, share them here. Share the knowledge to be shared. Work, you can also share, I suppose. Not too long, it's my second year, fair enough. I'm sure you'll be an absolute expert by the end of a course. Is there something that you like super want to animate? You're like, this is what I joined up for, to my dream animation. I feel like certainly it's quite common for a lot of animators to be like, yes, I want to like make a cartoon or something, like a digital animation which comes to life, which nowadays, you know, very possible with the amount of like indie animations which are coming to life. You know, Glitch Studios bringing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. There's also that new one they've got coming, which I can't remember his name, but okay, there we go. I think maybe I'll saturate the colours a bit more to be a bit more purpley. Then we can do this. Bring down the colours to be a bit more of a darker red to get darker shadows in here. Oh, I should have probably kept that colour somewhere here, yes. Right now we're doing pitch Bibles. Oh, and I'm coming up with my own game as practice. I've done 2D and 2D puppet rigging. Haven't dabbled in 3D yet. That's very cool. Pitch Bibles, nice. Is that going to be like your big second year project or something? It's, forgive me, I don't really know how exactly how distribution of work ends up going in the art subjects for courses. Not many people I knew actually took an art subject, mainly because where I went was quite known for STEM sort of subjects. Is it like you're doing a pitch Bible of what you're doing, and then like this you'll be working on little bits and pieces of it throughout the year for final product at the end? I don't know. How does it all work? Sorry, I'm probably asking you a lot of questions right now. I'm endlessly curious. I find it kind of fascinating, I suppose. I'm not sure about this red shading, but we're going to stick with it for now. And we'll change it later if we don't like it. It's kind of just concept practice and storyboarding. Each class is a different career path you can take in the industry. I think next year I'll have production, so we'll be in teams to make a story, not sure yet. That's cool. Hopefully it'll be something which you can find a good team for. Group projects always can be a bit of a hassle. Not everyone's on the same page, shall we say. They want us to experiment with everything to find what we like. That makes a lot of sense. I certainly can't fault that for any reason. Because yeah, I mean, like, it's totally true. You might not even know 100%. Like, I mean, you probably have a decent idea by now, second year, I'd imagine, of the sort of things you like more than others. But there's so many different parts and components which go into making, or anything really. It's hard to exactly know which part you like best or most, or what you think you're good at, or what you want to continue with. Do you think you have much of an idea yet? Of a part you're like, yes, this is what I can see myself doing and loving. Because I'm trying to think what I would even like to do best. I think if you asked me when I was younger, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, the actual hands-on animation. And to a certain extent, that's true. But I feel like probably what I would actually like more would be doing more of a directing sort of roles. Which I guess you kind of get to by doing the actual hands-on work, right? You have to work in the hands-on portion before you get to the actual experienced portion. I'm out of practice with story writing, but I've always wanted to be a character designer and concept artist. Definitely need a lot more practice. Yeah, pursue that. I believe in you. I think it's always very cool to see, because character design and being concept artists is actually, I mean, I guess the most fun part is the fact that you can do a lot of iterations based on things. You can be very experimental with how you go and how you try things. You know, there are no limits because you're out there pushing the limits and testing limits, right? Just to see what might or might not work. Feels a bit more unrestricted, I suppose, in that sense, right? Where you can, whatever ideas you can come up with is kind of like what flows freely. And also we're going to change this from red. I think we'll go back to sort of bluish purple. Probably purple pinkish, right? Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's very, very cool to see the final product, and then also preserve a fascination, I suppose, with the work that goes into it. I love it when developers always like post the concept arts and seeing how they made that journey to a final product. I need to learn to get out my comfort zone, look to upgrade my drawing tablet so I actually practice more. Nice! I did that as well, like it was a few years back. Because I'm trying to remember my sort of journey with drawing tablets. Is that when I first started, I had like this very cheap monoprice one, which was like £20 or something. And I didn't end up using it a lot because it was so like frustratingly annoying to use. But like I actually just like forced myself to like sit down, start drawing. Back to Lurk. It's always good to see you another day. And good day to you as well, James. Have fun on your lurking journeys. But yeah, but when I got my Huion tablet, the one before I'm using right now, which was still not a display tablet, it was like a properly decent one. I think it cost like £60-80 or something. And then I started drawing a lot more because I was like, it's actually quite fun to use this. I have it Intuos and I don't know what it is about it, but I hate it. It's been locked in my closet for years. Oh no. I think, yeah, I don't know, but there's always a bit of a difficulty, I think, starting. We're doing a lot of drawing. Overlay? Let's do overlay. I feel like this might be a lot of room lighting, I'm not sure. Sorry, I like, got a bit distracted there. Because it definitely takes some getting used to, I think, drawing with a tablet, especially when like, it feels a lot more intuitive to draw with like, I presume you have a graphics tablet, not a display tablet, like one without a screen. But really once you sort of like, there's like a weird sort of hurdle you need to get over first, initially, of you trying to sort of like learn the muscle memory of like drawing like this makes it look like that on the screen, etc, etc. And because it's so like annoying to get over that hurdle to begin with, I feel like it's very sort of, it takes a bit of time for you to really find not the joy necessarily of it, but the fruits of a labour from it, rather than it just being like a frustrating experience, I suppose. But once you get over that little bump, I think it's a lot easier. I could draw my iPad just fine. I prefer to see my pen on the actual drawing. We have Syntax in class and I love him. Yeah, I mean, maybe that is just it for you. It's just like, oh yeah, because it is a lot easier drawing, I think, with the display. And I definitely found that, like, I remember when I was starting with my graphics tablet, I was just like, oh, I just wish I had a display. But I was like, I was like a catch-22, where I was like, I can't justify buying a display tablet because I'm not even drawing with a graphics tablet, you know? Like, can I justify several £100s on a display tablet when I won't even draw with this regular graphics tablet? So I guess part of that for me was sort of being like, okay, I just need to get used to actually using this. Once I can prove to myself I can actually get used to using it, then I just bought like a display tablet, and I'm like, this is so much better. And I'm sure part of it is better as well because I got so used to doing with a graphics tablet as well. But you have an iPad, so I guess it's a little different. Sell my old one. I've been saving up. Nice. Make sure you wait for like a good sale or whatever. My friend, she actually recently upgraded her tablet as well. I think she got the same one I did, I'm not sure. I'm currently using a Huion Canvas 24. Bigger is better for me. I was considering getting one of the really high-end ones, but I was like, no. I'll leave like one step up that I can still upgrade if I need to later on. Because this one already was quite expensive. I bought it on sale. I can't remember how much it was, like £800 maybe. But I mean, like, I use it all the time, so it's certainly not a worry. Certainly a worthy investment. I think I want to change a line of this like immediately. I think it's really throwing the balance of everything off. Just make it like a bit of a softer red. Yeah, something like that. I think the upgraded one will have a 3-month trial to the animation program we're using class. That's cool. Oh, cool. What animation program do you use? Let me think. What is it? There's Adobe Animate. There's what is that other one called? There's one which is not the Adobe ones. I feel like it's Toon Boom. That's it. Yes. Toon Boom. Is it good? Like, I don't know. Do you have experience of both Toon Boom and Adobe Animate / Flash? Like, do you like it better? Because I feel like there's been a general shift away from Adobe products now because of the sort of stagnation. One, there's more competition in the scene, which is good, and also the sort of stagnation of Adobe. I haven't used others, but Toon Boom is pretty easy to use. Okay, that's nice. I'll have to look into it when I get a little bit into animation or something. It's my first animation program, but it's pretty expensive. That's fair. They're always quite expensive. They're quite an investment, I think, to get into it, which is almost like a bit of a shame, if anything, with like how much of an investment a lot of these big softwares are. Because I feel like if you're like just starting out and you're like trying to get into it, that sort of thing, you're not going to justify spending like £300. Industry standard now. Ah, fair enough. I'm very much like outside of the news of the industry now, so if that's industry standard, fair enough. But yeah, but prohibitive cost is like a lot. Like, imagine if you're starting out trying to dabble into animation. You're not going to spend like £200, I suppose, on the software, or I don't know how expensive it is, to be honest, but which is why I always have a great appreciation for softwares which always have like a light training version. Because like Ableton Live, which is a music software, was something I used back in school for ages, and I was like, oh, I'm like really curious to like try more of it, but I was like, oh, it costs like £600. So I was like, that's a lot. And since I wasn't taking music as a class or something, I was like, I can't get, as you say, student discount for now. Yeah. But they not recently, like in the last few years or something, they released something called Ableton Live, which is basically like a stripped down, smaller version of it, which is like super great, which I bought, and it was like £60 or something. And I was like, that's like not a prohibitive cost. That's something I can purchase and be like, yeah, maybe there's a decent chance I'll actually experiment with it a bit more, you know? So yeah, I don't know if Toon Boom's got something like that as well. Shame if it doesn't, but... Okay, let's just do a bit of this. I don't want crazy highlighting here, because I want to keep it quite soft. Because we'll probably go over with a whatchamacallit, a bit of colour correction afterwards. I also think the outside needs to be a tiny bit darker. It's a bit too bright maybe at the moment. I'm okay with this part being, the lanterns being quite bright, but the rest of it feels a bit too bright, if anything. And then I think also what I'll do is I'll put a soft orangey sort of glow emanating from it. We'll cheat the system a little bit. That's too much. Around the sort of outside of it. Oh no, sorry, I meant on the inside. To sort of trick my brain into being like, yeah, there's a lot of orange glow coming out here, isn't there? Maybe from a town below. Actually, that looks a bit better, because then it looks like there's more liveliness going on down below. I think also I want a gradient overlay. Probably just a transparent one over the top. Whoa, not like that, please. And not that strong, obviously. But a soft sort of orange glow effect from there. And then probably, excuse me, what's going on? Put this on soft light, maybe turn it up a little bit then. 55? Toon Boom has a bunch. I think we also use Maya and a few others for storyboarding and 3D modelling. Haven't got that far yet. I did a little bit of Maya back in school. 3D software is confusing, I think, to use. But to be fair, I'm just not that experienced in it. Although nowadays, you know, you've got Blender, I suppose, which is a fantastic free alternative to Maya, which is, I'm very thankful for its existence. Okay, that's not the right colour. I kind of want this just to be very red. But you have a specific software for storyboarding as well. That's interesting. Is it like something which is specifically built for storyboards, or is it something else? Kind of like that, but let's turn it down a little bit so it's not as obtrusively red. Honestly don't remember. Fair enough. I'm sure you'll get to learning it sooner or later anyway. So there's no rush in the end. I'll just have it as normal. And then just turn down the opacity of this. It's not really mixing very well though. Overlay maybe? Just trying to get a bit of a glow to it. I don't really know if that's noticeable. Oh, it is quite noticeable. There we go. Okay, some other shadows which need to be erased, like... Oh, this is probably a dark shadow, isn't it? Dark shadow needs to go for there. It's okay if it's a bit messy, it kind of looks... It's kind of meant to, I suppose. A bit brushy. I'll make a duplicate of this, because I don't know if this will look any good or not. But I want to. Go over. don't know. I don't know if I want to make it look scratchy or if I want to make it look like there's flowing lines as well. Not really sure how I'm going to do this, to be honest. Well, we'll experiment. We'll see if there's anything great we could do, because I actually got this done a lot quicker than I thought I would. No, I'm not feeling that. What sort of foreground things can we put in? Let's put in big old art folder. Put like a haze in. Maybe using this brush. Maybe making it a bit more red. So like burning incense, you know. Maybe put it like an overlay or something. Maybe not overlay. I don't know why I deleted it. That was a bit silly. It's quite an extreme angle to get much of a sort of sifting aroma in is basically what I want. I start with it quite thick and then I start erasing it, I think. Maybe turn down my opacity a little bit. It gives us a bit of a sense of danger, I think. Like, be careful what you're meddling with. We can also have a strong glow, I think. Might be good as well. Not like that, obviously. Why does it look like that? Add glow. Maybe that's what I want, yes. Which maybe we can do actually by doing it inverted. Have everything be slightly darker. That's probably a bit too dark. But we can have, actually, we probably can have a vignette. That's a bit too dark, huh? Actually, maybe a vignette can go under the haze. Okay, bit of an extreme vignette. I don't think we want it that much, but... turn it down a little bit. I forgot to draw my own first owner's hair. You know, it happens. You sometimes you forget the damnedest things. Because be doing something, you'd be like, oh no, yeah, wait, hold on, this was an important part of all of this. Okay, soft glow here. Make the tattoos glow a little bit. Probably decrease the hardness a lot as well. Look positively radiant like this. And you grab some red. Give it dangerous looking eyes. Probably we grab a coin. Make the coin glow a little bit. And then give a spark or something. Sparkle. Why is this so off center? What's going on? Why is this sparkle brush so off center? Do I have a different sparkle brush? I do. I do that and maybe turn it down a little bit. Also, the lighting you did looks really cool. Thank you. You struggle a lot with rendering. Yeah, rendering is always a bit difficult, I think. I think it's hard to know exactly what to do a lot of the time as well. I will say though that my tips, I suppose, is always to never use flat blacks, greys and whites for shading and rendering. Always put a little bit of colour in there. It can give your paintings a little bit of texture, a warmth or a coolness to it. Do it on different, like, layer it up. Have mid shadows, have dark shadows. What else is good? Rim lights always make things look very cool. I always try and use some shades of purple and yellow. That's good. Don't know why. I think blue is definitely my go-to shadow colour. I think it's quite a common one, to be honest, as well. Because somehow it feels more... It doesn't feel more neutral than grey. Because I guess grey is always the most neutral. But it feels like it has a bit more character to it than grey. Okay. I don't know if this will work like I expected. But this definitely will need a dreamy effect, I think. Which you can do by doing a colour. Duplicate your colour layers. Merge them together, put them on top. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I don't know how much would be enough. Let's try 40. Turn down the opacity. And it's like it gives it a little bit of a colour bleed effect. Finally, the thing I want to do. Tried purple and yellow ones and some traditional art ones with some cheap coloured pencils and just kind of stuck. That's kind of how, like, things happen, right? You just be like, yeah, you know, the thing that you've done very early on, and it's like, oh yeah, it looks pretty good. It just kind of becomes a way. It becomes part of your, what's the word? Your art style, I suppose. No, that's totally fine. But it is how it is, that's how it is. Always nice to branch out though. As well, try some other things here and there. Challenge yourself. I think this is pretty good. I think I just want to shift everything across a little bit. I think I probably want to make this more red and purple. So if you're wondering what I'm doing now, I'm doing a bit of a gradient mapping. This, I'm not going to leave this as a final thing, but you do this and then you can turn down the opacity, put on top, and then it sort of unifies, it brings the colours a bit closer together, sort of unifies them a bit more. Might do it as an overlay as well. That makes me a bit dark. I think it's a bit dark. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think if anything, I might have an add glow to this as well. So I'll turn it down a little bit more. Maybe colour shift it as well, this part. Just so it more feels like something's creeping in. Probably blur it as well. A sort of smoky aura effect. It's probably a bit too bright at the moment. Let's turn it down a bit more. There you go. Ugh. A very short stream probably today, but I think that's basically done. I'm not sure what else I mean, I guess we'll put the text back in. That's also an important part of it. Not sure if that's a good place to put it. Probably I might need to rewrite it because I think it needs to be a thicker brush. Probably could do a brighter colour as well. No! No! Keep erasing too much more than I want. How's this for typography? Probably this needs to come down a bit more as well. And then we can get a little bit of red to make it look like a snake. And then get the scale brush, wherever it is. Here it is. Get the gold. Put it on top. Softly though. Maybe a bit more than that. To make it look a bit more snake-like. Can't really tell to be honest, but whatever. Maybe we, hold on, maybe we should do the colours the other way around. Maybe that makes more sense. So this would be like that. This. Snake. Maybe everything just... What the heck? Oh, probably because of this. It can go up here. Might be okay with a slightly dark border around it, I'm not sure. Oh, whoops. There you go, that's quite a fun one. I never did that much experimentation with the actual text before. But there you go. I think that looks good. 2025. Celebrating the new year. Despite the fact it's been basically a month now since the new year. I just quite like that. You gotta be a fan of your own work, you know? You do it and you gotta be like, yeah, you know what, that looks pretty good. Good job, me. What is up with my monitor sound? Hello. Why are you drooping so much? I'm not falling, are you? It just needs a bit of rotation. It just needs a bit of rotation. There you go. What does it? Hold on. Maybe you are falling. What's going on? No, there you go. There you go. There's the next title screen. Okay, let's save an image of this. Next thumbnail. Yippee. I'm not sure if I can do it yippee probably. Yippee! Yippee! Sound like that, right? Let's save this properly. It's 2025, everyone. Ooh, new year. Do I save at max resolution? I probably do. Let's see. Let's change the title screen from this to the new one. Does it work properly? It does. Look at that. Beautiful. So yeah, well, shorter stream. This time. Mainly because the art took a lot faster than I thought I actually honestly would. But yeah, I need to go record some videos now for YouTube. Thank you very much for coming along and watching. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for all conversations via spec. It's honestly fascinating to learn. Sort of secondhand, I think, about learning about animation. Maybe one day you'll check back in. Lover vibes will be back definitely. Oh, I'd love to hear it. Love to see it as well. Yes, very casual vibes here. I forgot what I was going to say now. I don't remember. Oh well. Well, we've got to get the gears turning for whatever we're going to be doing for February on that thumbnail art. And actually probably be playing some games to actually begin with as well, rather than just art. But time is difficult. Time is short nowadays. But thank you along for coming. Thank you along for coming. Thank you for coming along. Hope you had a good time. And I guess I'll see you again next week / next week, and whenever the next stream is. As we drop the stream. I say thank you all for coming. A lovely time. Good vibes. We love it. Relaxing. Okay, time to record some other videos now, hey?